metaphysics is going to have to be the quote-unquote religion of tomorrow. If it isn't, you're fucked. Totally and absolutely.
Yeah. The Cult of Dangerous Gentlemen. We are back in the place again. The greatest think tank ever assembled. And we about to get right into it. We're going to get into some gulliness. Oh, you know what? We got the timer now. So we're going to start the timer. We have an hour to talk all the shit we're going to talk, mine all the absurdity we're going to mine. And we starting with DJ Vlad. Well, DJ Vlad and TK Kirkland, these are two very popular fellas on the internet. And we're going to get right into it because Doobie has something to say about DJ Vladimir the Impaler.
And it was one of the guys on SoundCloud, me, Tax, and Charlemagne. And when I found out his spirit, I said, oh, man, Tax, you hating on these motherfuckers. He was a hater. And it hurt.
Okay, let's hold it right there. First of all, he's talking about Tax Stone. This is somebody we've spoken about on the show a number of times. He's an amazing individual. And what we get into here is Vlad's response to this, correct, Doobie?
Correct.
So we want to see what Vlad has to say after TK Kirkland told him that Tax Stone was a hater.
When I think about Tax, I think about
fair use too. Bomba Clap fair use.
Yeah. His team, X team, wanted me to mentor them, but I didn't take it seriously.
Because they were haters, right? Where's Vlad's response at?
6. Yeah, there is no response.
He's only
is that the response? That there is no response?
He didn't say anything. Didn't say. You can read the comments, and then everybody noticed it. He didn't say a thing. Right there, the first one.
Wow, yeah, that's crazy. That is the first comment. Vlad didn't address the statement from TK that Tax was a hater. I think didn't we all know that though? Is this a surprise? Tax Stone was put where he was put. I'm gonna say he was put there because I personally don't believe that a person with that level of activity in his life, that level, his mindset, just the way he was in every stitch of media I've ever seen him in, he's been the same guy. He's ridiculous, bro. He's a problem. He's like a glitch in the Matrix. Just a criminal glitch in the Matrix. And he's having a great time doing it. So, of course a guy like that has to be a hater. But that's Vlad. Is that Vlad's homie? Like, does he like the guy?
Vlad is in love with the man.
Oh, okay.
Vlad is in love with the man.
Well,
and so what if...
Go ahead.
So your position is that he should have challenged TK and said, wait a minute, you can't talk about Tax Stone like that, or that's not fair that you're calling him a hater. Please explain. Why is that what you're saying?
That would have been nice if even if he did that. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There wasn't even a remark.
Vlad gives a lot of pushback on shit people be saying, and Vlad gave him the platform first. He was the one that brought him in. I think the point is, people like this, they call them vultures. I don't agree that they're vultures. I think they're vampires, and there's a difference because I think vultures are vital to the environment, right? We need vultures. If vultures wasn't eating the dead and rotting carcasses out of the street, they'd be left there for people to deal with and spreading disease and shit like that. We need them. They come and eat the dead and rotting things out of the area so we don't have to deal with it. So if you have a culture vulture, basically what you're saying is the only thing they don't hunt. Vultures are not like, yo, I'm going to kill this motherfucker so I can eat him. That's not what they do. They just come clean up dead shit. So you should actually be grateful if a vulture is coming to clean up dead shit in your culture. You should let it go. Whatever it feeds on and it can exploit, you got some leaks in your boat, buddy. You don't blame the vultures. They're just doing their job. But a vampire is different. Vlad's a vampire. He knows exactly what he's doing. He knows exactly what he is. And he's feeding off these people. He's making a lot of money. It's a great hustle. I'm not hating at all. I ain't angry. But
never knock the hustle.
Yes, but it's clear. Like people, oh, Vlad, he got people on the show and then they went to jail. It's like, but they're the gangsters, though. The gangsters are supposed to be the one, you know how to duck and dodge, the po-po, the feds, all that shit. Vlad is having interviews on YouTube. So if a guy who's having an interview on YouTube can get you to tell on yourself with truthful statements enough to that you get indicted or some shit like that after the interview, I can't blame the interviewer. He's not supposed to know street, politics and don't snitch or don't tell on yourself.
He's a guest by nature. He's not supposed to know.
He doesn't know.
What we've said.
He doesn't know. You're gangster. Well, I'm not going to say he doesn't know, because I did just say he's a vampire. He knows what he's doing. The fact is, you as the person committing the crimes, am I wrong? Don't you have more responsibility to not volunteer information that can get you put in jail?
The criminal has the greater responsibility to not divulge incriminating statements or incriminating information in a public forum. I absolutely agree with you. Yeah. And I love the analogy about a vampire over a vulture, because vultures do come and get rid of the decomposition.
Yeah.
This is things that could create diseases and problems.
Yep.
We just need to clear out this death, and we're going to transmute it into energy for the vulture so that he can fly back and get rid of the death again before it starts another bubonic plague.
Right.
There's value in that. Vlad goes up to the dead bodies, bites them, and makes sure that they never die. They just continue to suffer.
Oh, wow.
And produce chaos. No. There's going to be more gang shootings, because I heard what the fuck you said on that Vlad interview. There's going to be more people going to prison. But the beef could have died months ago. Yeah, it could have. But, bitch, I'm a vampire. I'm keeping that shit alive as long as I can for views. So I do think in that regard, you're right. He does know what he's doing, but from all the ways that people make money out here, right?
Yeah.
If I'm not going to hold 50 Cent accountable to the point I'm going to judge him, like, hey, dude, you made a career stereotyping young black men as violent drug dealers. All the time with activism, I hear, well, we're trying to get rid of that image. It's a stereotype. And there's people gladly lining up saying, look, I'll play that role. I'll be happy to do that. Are we getting money from this? Absolutely. So it's not like there's, there's a demand, but there's a long line of people willing to step up and meet that demand who don't have any kind of moral conundrum that arises out of that. So I can't say that's an immoral way to make money, or it's not an immoral way to make money. But if it's accepted, right, Vlad isn't doing anything beyond the pale.
No, not at all.
Unless you get involved into the niggerdom.
Oh, well,
why are you picking a side? Because now there's plenty of spicy interviews of him talking about Choryav this, Choryav that, Choryav this, that, and the other. And it's like, sir, a man died, and your best friend brought the gun.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Tax and the whole thing with it did kind of amaze me that as far as Troy Ave goes, who's another rap. For people who don't know, there's a bunch of rappers and rap podcasters, and the only person really outside of the circle of actual events is Vlad. So he's just getting all the interviews. Everybody want to come talk shit. But everybody else, after they leave the Vlad interview, they got to deal with each other outside. They're shooting at each other in real life. This is not like, Ice Cube makes a diss record about somebody. No, these guys are shooting at each other and actually shooting people. People are dying, bodyguards and shit like that, over rappers, and they're rappers and podcasters. It doesn't make any sense. I don't think Vlad is doing nothing wrong, because vampires they can't come in your house unless you invite them.
Ah, true.
So if you get killed in your own house, we've already established that Vlad is the guest. If you get killed in your own house by a vampire, you let him in.
Or just get life in prison.
Yeah, you become a ghoul.
So you let Vlad in the house of hip hop.
Right.
And then you cross the threshold of his interview area.
Yeah.
Anything you say after that is, you've invited the vampire. Everything after that, I agree, Vlad needs to have a hold harmless understanding. It's a hold harmless agreement. Once you get in there, you cross the threshold, you agree to the interview. Whatever you say, you say. That's not on Vlad. Can't put that on Vlad.
No, he's free. He's free. We've retroactively right now and all for the foreseeable future. I don't blame Vlad for anything that happens that's connected to any of his interviews. Nothing. Because as we can see, right, it does seem that he prefers some of the worst guests, some of the worst people that he's ever had on. He loves those guys. He loves them. I remember one time, I might be able to find an interview. I just don't remember the rapper's name. He interviewed a rapper where he asked him, so what were you doing out there in the streets before you became a rapper? Were you hustling? And the guy was like, nah, man, I was going to school. Nah, you know what I mean? Just school. You know what I'm saying? That was it. And Vlad goes, so that's it. Nothing else. Just school. he was baiting him a little bit. And someone was like, nah, man, I was in school. He asked him why he wore blue all the time. He's like, it's just a nice color.
Oh, I know which one you're talking about. It's that Atlanta rapper.
Yeah, it was hilarious. It might
Can't think of his name.
His name
right
might have
now.
been
I know
Dope Boy or something like that. I don't know. Something simple.
Listen, and you know what? And I'm sure he absolutely, not to be judgmental, but he did end up becoming a rapper. So he probably was doing that dirt because he accrued some level of street credibility.
Yeah,
but he was smart enough to get on there and say, I was just going to school.
Right.
This interview is not going to translate into state's evidence. It's not going to happen.
There's nothing I'm going to say on here that's going to give you the opportunity to trip me up later. And he had a mouthful of gold teeth. Either he got coached or he was just smart enough to know.
PeeWee Longway.
There we
Long
go. Vlad interview. PeeWee Longway. There
the
we
holder
go.
of blackness. I had to get that out. Sorry.
Denies. Okay, yeah, and Vlad put the video up, and it says PeeWee Longway denies being a Crip, expertly dodges.
Okay, so as far as all of the charges about vampirism, okay, expertly dodges.
Expertly. So Vlad's like, look, Vlad,
you can't deny you can't deny that you threw out the trap. If you're openly acknowledging
somebody
that
expertly dodged it.
Right.
That is amazing. He knows what's up, bro. I don't know how it
Putting in some work.
Trying my best, man. You know, I ain't gonna let up. No time soon.
There we go.
And you know when I listen to
There we go.
Probably right.
When I look at your music, when I listen to your music, and I look at your album covers and stuff like that, I'm seeing a lot of blue. The color blue seems to be very prominent.
It's a nice color, my boy.
There you go.
It's a nice color. It ain't that like that.
Now I assume there's a Crip thing going on.
Nah,
look.
Just a nice color. It ain't that like that.
Now I assume there's a Crip thing going on.
Nah, just a nice color.
Just a nice color.
Yeah.
No cripping going on.
No, nothing.
No
nice
nothing.
color. That's the scene.
I love it. Dude, this is my favorite Vlad guest of all time. Of all time. Somebody cut it into a short, too. That's smart. Thank you. We appreciate that. I can't even hear it, though.
Amen.
Okay. Now, are you the founder of MPA?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this guy, this is amazing, bro. I love that he knew exactly where Vlad was going.
Power, man. You gotta have
money,
power.
Money, power, then.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
one thing about this right here, man. One thing about a brother, man. A brother gonna forever be a brother, man. You know.
Yeah, whatever. You see what's going on. This
Niggas
guy
gonna dig.
is he expert? Is he an expert? He's an expert at dodging Vlad's questions. That's for sure. That's one smart thing that you did, is not tell on yourself in an interview that's going to get 1.9 million views on YouTube. That seems like basic, like criminal. That's like 101, right?
Look, the difference between PeeWee Longway and everybody else that's been on Vlad and then subsequently went to jail over something they said on Vlad, the thing they have in common is that they all have made a series of bad decisions leading up to that interview.
Oh, yes.
Okay? But the chance that they had to make a good decision, PeeWee Longway is the only one that did. Like, nope, I don't need no credit. Everybody in my hood knows all of the people I've killed and served drugs to.
Shout out to PeeWee Longway.
I don't need to get on here and tell Vlad the specifics.
I love it. I respect that guy.
Good for him.
Ain't nothing wrong with what Vlad's doing. I mean, you could say it's a little bit immoral to try to coax it out. I assume there's a Crip thing going on. He's like, nah, it's just a nice color. So no cripping, huh? He's just like, you sure you don't want to give me something? So I guess I guess he's doing a little nudging, but still, he can't make you say nothing, bro. And you come out clearly, as PeeWee Longway just proved to you. You come out looking cooler when you don't tell on yourself.
What a great lesson.
You know who's the exact opposite? Who's that guy from Philly?
AR Ab.
AR Ab is completely different.
Complete opposite. Just put AR Ab tells on himself.
Yeah.
Clip.
Listen, so PeeWee AR Ab telling. Bro, listen, I wish I had a perfect video. It's pretty much any one of them. But to actually find the one, telling on himself. A compilation.
You fucking cock blowers, you cowards, man. Come see us, man. I swear to God,
fair
you
use.
come down this block.
Yeah, super fair use.
Fills up with so much fucking smoke. Nobody gonna make it off the fucking block.
This could be figurative, right? I mean, he's a rapper.
In some states, that could be construed as assault. I think it's a very clear threat of violence. No?
Well, if he's a rapper.
Unless he's protesting.
Rappers talk about shooting each other with rocket launchers. I mean, and he's a rapper. So you could say, nobody's going to make it off a block. That could be like, I'm going to battle everybody individually and you're all going to have to leave after I win. That could be, if you got a decent lawyer, that's what they would say. Let me see.
Lyrical smoke.
Oh, exactly. Lyrical smoke.
You come down this block, is nobody going to make it off this fucking block, man. I promise you won't make it off this motherfucking block, man.
Because you can't beat any of the other rappers that are on my block. You're not going to make it through. It's like a gauntlet of rappers. If you beat one, there's one more right behind him. So somebody's going to beat you and get you off the block.
If you come up on us, man, you're not going to make it. Niggas going to blow your shit clean off, man.
Okay.
Verbally.
Verbally, lyrically blow your shit clean off. I could...
Big brother right here. He got shot in the head twice. Kicked the nigga in the same night.
Wow. I don't know about that one. Hold on. Maybe that's a rap lyric because it rhymed. That's just, we don't have to necessarily think it's true.
Wait, did it rhyme? Did it have some, the meter was measured out?
Twice. Killed the nigga in the same night. Steve gang. Steve count probably bigger than my drink, man. I'm keeping on your yard.
His count probably bigger than mine.
This nigga count something serious, man.
I already took 13 shots, nigga. And I don't know what for, you know why?
Fair use.
I kidnap niggas, I rob niggas, I kill niggas, I got a lot of shit I did.
There's the one.
It's too
Fair
much.
use.
It's too much, bro. I kill niggas. I kidnap niggas. Why? Okay.
The shoot and run, like that's a very serious situation. Like I'm assuming you know who the person is.
Actually,
that sounds very personal.
Oh, you ready to talk?
I never really found out who shot me because, well, I've been into a lot of shit. So I keep it all real. I robbed a couple niggas. Took some bricks from some people recently, right?
What? Okay.
At 7:13.
So you're on Vlad TV still robbing people.
Yeah, I took some bricks recently, actually. Now that I think of it, this is, I don't know.
Well, once I scratch the serial number off this murder weapon, I'm gonna go into Vlad for an interview.
Look, Vlad, here's my neck. Just take it, Vlad.
Yeah, he came there with no shirt on, basically. He put some olive oil on his neck just to make sure the fangs go in real smooth. Like, he just was ready, bro. He was ready. He opened his own window, like when they're floating outside the window, tapping on it. He's like, yeah, come on in. Come on, bite my neck. He knew exactly what he was doing. You can't be mad. If you see that in the movie, like, oh, okay, he wants to die.
I mean, I'm gonna get it. I'm the type of dude, I can't be broke. You said I got this whole building, I'll fix this shit up from what? I don't make no money off rap. I extort people.
I just want to see this clip where he's just sprinkling rosemary and jasmine on his neck. Just sprinkling it. Rubbing hot butter all over it.
Yeah, no garlic. No garlic. They don't like garlic.
No garlic. That would not be the right seasoning. But everything else.
Wow, just basting himself. Just basting himself with seasonings and broth. Like, yeah, the vampires are coming tonight.
Yeah.
It's one of my
neck
hustles.
is delicious.
Got shot a lot of times behind it, but it paid my own houses and shit. It paid the car Badlands.
Well, that's, you know what I gotta say, high gamble, high risk, high reward. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe, but I'm pretty sure if I just saw this correctly, he just told the IRS that my current real estate is the result of illegal activity.
Building houses, bro. It's a high risk, high reward, right? You get shot a couple times. He said actually a lot. Been shot a lot of times behind it. And I think he meant in a lot of different instances, not necessarily the number of shots. I think he's talking about I've been shot like a bunch. Mad people have shot me on different occasions and everything.
Wow. I was coming up there. There was somebody at the corner wanted to buy an ounce of crack off.
An ounce of crack? That's a lot of crack. Killed 500 people with an ounce of crack.
They coming from my side. Like they drive my side. I said, meet me on this block. You know what I'm saying? So I come out the curb, I see the boy that's like, yo, I was shooting the DVD going, man.
This is a robbery story. We don't even need to hear it. Oh.
Yeah.
One more. I was out selling drugs and shooting motherfuckers all the time. And where's the AR at right now? I don't even think we have to tell you.
Wait, no. Let's see. Let's be surprised.
Oh, no, I'm not. I know exactly where he is. AR Ab got, how many years was he sentenced to?
Wikipedia would be a good one to tell you.
Oh, yeah.
Did they say the worst criminal in hip-hop history?
Yeah. And he just told you all the fuckers. He just explained it all. Feud with Meek Mill, 2018 indictment. Found guilty of several counts of conspiracy, distribution of crack cocaine, heroin, methamphetamine, and a federal conspiracy. Was sentenced to 45 years in prison. AR Ab is doing football numbers right now. Probably because of all the shit we was just watching him tell you. But again, this seems like a tapestry woven in heaven. How many times do you get the same brain and the same soul, the same person, right, who is willing to do mad crimes and shoot people and do extortions and sell crack and methamphetamine, but also not smart enough to keep his mouth shut about it? Not that we want them to. We want more criminals like AR Ab. I hope more people start doing interviews about where they kill people, where they put the bodies at, and just give them all 50 years. If they're really doing it. Don't pin no cases on nobody. Don't no patsies or nothing like that. But just look into it. If he's on Vlad, like, I just fucking shot 5 people last week. Were 5 people shot last week in the street that this guy claims? Like, actually, they were. Let's check on that. I wouldn't be mad at all. They're not wiretapping. They just go on to YouTube and search your AR Ab. Ain't this the guy we built a case against? Yeah. He just said he paid off his houses from extorting people. Okay, that was easy. Fuck it. If you actually paid off your house by extorting people, like physically robbing, beating people up and taking money, then 45 years. Fuck it.
And now the conundrum is, how do I preserve my credibility? Because I've already dumped a lot in the I'm thugged the fuck out basket. There's a lot in there, right?
Oh yeah.
Like, this is the way that he got notoriety, that arguably he's got some attention for his music career and got money and whatnot. But what was I saying?
It's difficult. It's difficult to
niggas after 9.
That's kind of where it was going, and I think there might, what that was like? That was like, the fifth directive in RoboCop. He's like, you can't actually kill a person that's employed by this company. It's like, we put this back door in, so you might have been approaching a string of thought that's not allowed for you to actually come to the conclusion of, and it was like, nope, get it out of there. Get that one out of there. We know where this sentence ends. So, but Doobie said it for you. No Negroes after 9. That's kind of where we were going. Shit's crazy out here. And all you got to do is look at Twitter.
But he's going to have to explain, okay, I was just talking shit on Vlad. That's not true. Okay, but where did you get all the cash for this house?
No.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you're going to have to explain yourself. Right. So even if they don't have everything, they're going to start asking questions.
Yep.
So if you really were just talking shit, okay, you're going to have a plausible explanation. That's going to hurt your career. If you got a plausible explanation, then everybody knows you really didn't get that house from criminality.
No.
You lied and said you were a criminal for clout, but you really paid for it by legal means. You see what I'm saying? It's a catch-22.
That would be silly. Nobody would ever do that. Because, well, all it would really do is waste the FBI's time. You know what? Actually, it's fair both ways. It's fair both ways.
I think you just inadvertently made Vlad a hero.
No, sometimes the vampire is the hero of the story. Especially a passive vampire who doesn't hunt his victims. They all come to him with their neck exposed and seasoned.
Buttered necks. Yeah. He got a buttered neck.
Yeah, I don't like dry, unprepared necks. Your neck's got to be rubbed down, seasoned overnight, and bring it here. I'm not coming out to get it. You bring it here, you sit it on that little chair right there, and you spill your guts. You commit ritual seppuku in my studio. Like, yeah, thanks, appreciate it.
I've been basting my neck in delicious criminality for decades. It's just ready. I'm ready to tell it all. Bring in the vampire. Let him in.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to go get bit. You got to go get bit. He's going to call you up and be like, hey, you want to come by get bit? Yeah, I'll stop by. Thanks. I appreciate it, Vlad. It's just going to get 1 million views of you sucking blood out my neck. Thank you.
That's right. Don't bring the garlic.
Yo.
Amazing. Hey, I ain't mad at it. Like I said, it's fair both ways. If you are paying for your properties and your possessions in completely legal means, but you can monetize and use your ability to make people believe you did it illegally, so it gets people listening to your Spotify, something's cracking for you because you're like, yeah, I stole 5 houses. You're like, damn, how you do that? Just walked in, punched them in the face, kept their house. If the cops look in on that, whatever resources they spend looking for something and finding nothing, that's fair. That's fair. Take resources away from them, but also sometimes some of those people are going to be telling the truth, so they'll catch people. As long as you don't just get mad because the guy's lying about being fully legal and then try to beat him up or something. Like, we don't want that. If you look everything up, like, nah, he's above board. He's just talking shit. Okay, well, fuck it. Let's look at somebody else then. I think it's fair.
And either way, the government can use them as influencers. At any point, they're a part of the FBI and CIA at that point.
Absolutely.
Because then they get approached and say, okay, we know what you're doing, so let's negotiate how long you're going to prison and what you're going to do for us to get some years off the sentences. Or, hey, we know you've done nothing wrong, but if you want this YouTube thug money to keep pouring in, you may not want us to release these documents about how you really bought your house. Like, either way, it's a win-win.
Yeah,
so Vlad's a righteous vampire.
He is.
I don't think you would want to go out of your way to give Vlad any sort of positive spin, but I think at this point, if we're just gonna follow the facts of the matter, it's undeniable. He's doing the Lord's work.
He is.
Yes, he's practicing vampirism culturally, but he's only preying on the butteriest of necks, the necks that are ready and willing and just dying for it. Like, they're just dying to be victims and tell their story. And look, Philly's a little safer now. Not by much, but it's a little bit safer.
Definitely safe from that guy.
Yeah,
safe
that's
from
a
that
fact.
guy. He's only hurting other criminals in prison now, and that's thanks in part to Vlad.
Or getting his hair braided.
Maybe that's where he always wanted to be.
Well, the theory proves the theory is bulletproof. So anybody trying out, he was telling on himself. Not only was he doing the crimes, he was talking on video about how he did the crimes. The end of that equation was always prison or death. So 50-50, he wanted to be in jail with all other men, or he wanted to die. So, flip a coin. But it's either one. It can't be either one. It can't be outside of those two choices. He either wanted to die or wanted to be locked away with men for the rest of his life. And I think he got what he wanted, bro. I think he got what he wanted. But I appreciate that guy for telling on himself. The streets are a little bit safer. I appreciate everybody who put the case together by watching YouTube videos. This is the easiest case they ever had. Do we got to go do a stakeout?
It all started from Jimmy showing his dad a Vlad TV interview.
Yeah, we don't have to do a stakeout. I'm going to send you a link to a playlist. And I start from the top, you start from the bottom. We'll meet in the middle and compare notes. Like, I think we could put this guy away for 50 years. fuck it, I ain't mad at him, yo. Get him out of here. I think this is a perfect time to step into one of the main reasons why we're the greatest think tank ever invented, and just introduce some new concepts, some new ideas that's going to be very difficult for anybody to dismantle. And if you'd like to try, I'll preemptively invite you to come in on the show. But I think we should open the floor to talk about unity trolling and what that entails.
Unity trolling might be the single greatest world-saving intellectual property that we've ever cultivated during this endeavor.
Beautiful.
Unity trolling, in definition, is because everybody is so divided. You take a story that the people are really divided over, and you find ways to make them both hate you at the same time. That's unity trolling. Pointing out the absurdity of the conflict of the people, and then finding a story to tell where they can be united in their hatred against you. Because the hate is what brings them together to hate each other. Fuck you, I hate you, no, I hate you too. Here's my set of facts, here's my set of facts. Fuck it, you're wrong, no, you're wrong. It's endless. Nothing ever gets solved. Nobody changes their mind and starts to like each other. So hate is their fuel. It's all they have.
Yeah.
So if you want to get the attention of the masses, don't keep picking a side like what everybody's doing. The genius that the Cult of Dangerous Gentlemen has come up with is unity trolling. And I submit that it might be the greatest thing we've ever come up with.
I like it.
I've got my first unity troll to help bring people together in absolute hatred.
And what does it involve? What website do we need to be on?
Mechstat racism. Mechstats. What if we reframed everything? Everybody's so sensitive about race, but what if, just what if? And that's my new thing now. I'm not saying I know anything. I'm not going to say it's this way or it's that way. I'm just asking, what if? What if? What if, because people that left Africa, what if it was so cold that they just had to start figuring out really violent and clever things to do in order to survive? And what if after centuries and centuries of having to both be clever and violent, eventually they get to the nuclear bomb? Their skill set is such, we've been working on this shit, we've been flexing this muscle generation after generation. We were going to be the first to figure it out because it was cold as fuck and we had to live off of fire. That's how we got it done. What if? What if? And what if in that process you start to really get out of touch with your body and you get so wrapped up in your mind that you kind of become frail and you become more suited as an administrator than an actual producer or a label? What if? I'm not saying it is, just what if? And what if there could be another group of people, what if, who didn't get caught up in all of that and are maybe a more natural version of what humanity is? Because say what you want about really, really, really smart people, you don't get a lot of really, really evil shit without really, really smart. Dumb hate can only fuck you up in a store. It can't figure out how to drop a bomb.
Ooh.
Right?
Bars.
So what if? Just what if? What if we just found, it's just, we've been so, of course you're going to dance better. We don't have any rhythm. We've been working on bombs. We've been figuring out how to murder each other. In record, we've been figuring out, that's what's been making we've been figuring out more financial instruments to separate you from your money. We've been figuring out new language and contracts to
it's
get
amazing.
all your shit.
All that from being stuck with your woman in the case for so long.
Listen, what if we're absolutely the same bag of shit, and you're not gonna grow the same kind of tomatoes in fucking California that you're gonna grow in New Hampshire.
That's a fact.
You're just not. They're different fucking they're both tomatoes.
Right.
But they're different tomatoes, okay? And there doesn't need to be any genocide involved. So I think if we reframe race as mech stats,
I think that works.
I think we have a much softer way to talk. You can't be the motherfucker that can carry 30 bombs and they're all the most powerful bomb in the game.
Right. You don't get 30 nukes. You don't get 30 nukes. You get 30 tomahawks if you want, but not 30 nukes. You can't do. You get 2 nukes.
Yep. You don't get to be the fastest and have the best armor. We all got to sacrifice some stats. Okay, you want credit? You made the spaceship. Yeah, okay, you made the spaceship. You made bombs. All of that's really, really cool. Okay, lot of atrocity on the way there. Lot of good things. Yeah, we're all enjoying the good things, but there's a lot of atrocity because you need that skill set for atrocity on the scale that we've been able to produce it as humanity. And you know, if you got, you know, look, LeBron James isn't a white dude for a reason. He got different mech stats. He's not reading any of those books.
Yeah.
He's just not. And that doesn't mean every mech suit that's of that brand has the same stats. We get individual stats, we get group stats, and there's all outliers, but we're all individuals. But if we just thought about it in terms of trade-offs and racial mech stats, I don't think people would be as sensitive about it. Wow. I think you just say, yeah, we've got the highest spaceship making stat in the game, but not huge pipes. Not a lot of. There's a couple of huge pipes. There's a couple, but by and large, pipes. And it's the same thing. If you get the Eastern mech model, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
By and large, lots of really not big pipes, but nobody is processing numbers faster. It's just not happening. The computing
you get the
power
merchant buff.
is unparalleled. You know what I'm saying? It's the only mech that has the ability to carry a couple nukes and the 20 tomahawks. It has the processing power to wield both. Maybe the other mechs don't have. It's just mech stats.
Yeah. But you can't dance.
Now
you can't dance, and you have like a negative stat for like social acceptance. People look at you weird when they see your mech out there. It's like, yeah, they look at you weird when they see your mech, but you also control banking and, like you said, factories and shit like that. Everything like that is in your favor. But society doesn't like you, and you can't dance. We've already accepted mech stats. Nobody complains like, how come I can't be strong, fast, and have the most armor? We know you move one slider over, the other sliders get shorter.
Yep.
Yeah, we've all accepted that metric. So I think we might have just laid down the groundwork to solve racism.
Because you know the problems that arise at it is like, people know that we're a big fan of AIU. We love that dude. First Compound is having a kangaroo statue, bronze.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, that dude is beloved. And the shit that he's getting into for the Emmett Till thing. And he didn't say, I'm glad Emmett Till is dead. Emmett Till deserved to die. He never said that. He just said the story we're being told about Emmett Till is omitting some facts. That's it. That's all he's pointing out there. And look at the level of hate that dude got. I think he got kicked off of something else. I don't know. I think Patreon.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, definitely Patreon. That was a while back, but yeah, they've been and they took mad long to get back to him, and when they finally did, they didn't really say nothing. So it's like just been terrible treatment and a bunch of false shit that people been saying. Like you said, he never said nothing about the actual act being good or anything like that. He's just stating a different point of view of events and everything else, and something that, like he said, has been documented this whole time. And I'll say too, something. A conversation that I had recently about something like this was that I, as a person who received those stories when I was young and these black families and shit like that, I've never in my life, with all the shit that I've researched, bro, I read Dr. York books for years. I was in fucking Egyptology and all kinds of wild shit. I've never actually read about any of those stories. You get the whatever you're told. You get a couple movie references and shit like that. I've never researched what that woman. Right. It's unquestionable. And that's crazy because when you start talking about it at first, of course, you're just like, wait, what the fuck is happening?
That's not what the Bible says.
That's not what the Bible says. But then I realized, out of all of the shit that I've been so diligent about trying to figure out, I've never, ever tried to research any of those stories.
Me either. Because it sounds true. Of course there was segregation.
Right.
Of course there was racism. Of course there was lynchings. So you don't have to convince me that this story just is the way that it is. But people would say, well, what's the point of it? Why do you want to make that point that details were left out? Why else would you make that point unless you're trying to spark racial hatred?
Right.
And I think the larger point being made is like, look, that's how we get to Jacob Blake. Like, that's how we got there. The Emmett Till story is the greatest example of that. You leave out some facts. It doesn't change that what happened was a tragedy. It doesn't change that somebody it should be responsible for the tragedy. There is someone to blame in that situation.
Oh yeah.
But the common thread is you left out information that may make that person look bad. And in a situation like with Emmett Till, overall it doesn't make a difference at all. Because, okay, whether he grabbed her waist or whether he whistled at her, nobody thinks he should have been kidnapped and murdered. Like, there's nobody advocating that position. Nope, kidnap and murder, completely reasonable, should have been happened. Nobody's made that argument. But in a situation like with Jacob Blake, it's like, no, not mentioning that he finger raped his ex, and that's why she called the cops, that he punched the police, that he was trying to drive off with kids, and that he was reaching for a knife in the seat. Like, no, that completely changes the situation.
A little bit.
Right, it's like, yeah, no, you should have shot him. That changes it. You could go from, oh no, I don't think you should have shot him, to, oh yeah, you should have definitely shot him, by introducing that information. But there's no way you take the Emmett Till situation of, nah, you let him live, to, oh no, you absolutely got to kidnap and murder him. Like, nothing materially that you introduce changes that equation, right? But if we're still trained to not ask those questions, is that true? Is that, maybe I should look into that. Like, that's how we get to Jacob Blake. So him standing up and just saying, look, there was a sexual assault that took place. Like, why are we going out of our way to leave that out of the story? And for the people that want to trivialize it, I'll Nathan the Prophet the whole thing. I go into the hood. I'm the only white dude there. There's a black cashier. And I start pushing up on her like that. And she voices her displeasure. Am I or am I not getting beat the fuck up?
You're a wild boy.
I'm absolutely getting... Look, Anthony Cumia got punched in the face by a hooker. None of them dudes cared about that hooker. They were just like, look, white dude, do not touch that sister. You can't do that. That's what it was when the dudes were stepping up to be like, look, nah, don't touch her. I know she punched you in the face, but you still can't touch her.
Right.
Like, I think there would be no black dude in the hood would see me go up on a chick, a cashier or something, anything like that, in that dude's neighborhood and not say some shit if she's voicing her displeasure with it. Would I get kidnapped and murdered? No, maybe not. I don't know. But to think like, nah, it's that trivial that you wouldn't do nothing? Oh no, that's innocent. And that's just the whole point. Why are we trying to make everybody so innocent? Like we're painting clear heroes and villains. It's religious dogma, right?
Yeah.
Because like you said, you don't even question it. It's laid out for you like the Bible. Here's the answers. Here's how you got to feel about it. And in that context, Devon is stepping up to say, okay, here's where the information's wrong, and I'll prove it to you. And people's response wasn't, oh, well, actually, I've heard your facts inside. Here's why that's wrong. Let me supplement you with what you're missing. Instead, it's, I'm going to fucking kill you with hammers. I'm going to chase you down.
Right.
It's like, wait a minute. So we're arguing about whether horrific violence was okay. And we're just talking words and trying to figure out what really happened. And because you want to be the righteous person, you're like, listen, you don't respect this man being murdered enough. I'm going to hunt you down with hammers as a result.
Right.
Is there anybody in that equation that has the moral high ground that's looking for anything meaningful? Is there any moral hero there?
Yeah, definitely. Let me. This is some complicated math, but let me try to break this down, especially because I'm black. Let me just say this: the person who is just saying words should not be murdered with a brick. So I'm just gonna lay that out there. Let's just start there. So if you're gonna, if your argument is you don't care enough about something that happened, or I don't like your opinion, I don't care what the opinion is or what is it that you don't care enough about. Just the opinion itself and the fact that you can state it on a public forum for people to see and access. I can't think of anything that you could contribute that leads to you being murdered with a brick. I can't think of it. If you go on YouTube and you say, you know what, I think it's a good idea to put kittens in the blender. If he actually did it, I'm not going to say murder him with a brick. I'm just going to turn around and walk away, and you people handle it however you see fit. I'm going to go home and I'm going to have a sandwich. So whatever you do is your business. But if all he's doing is saying he thinks cats should go in blenders, you can't kill him with a brick. Does the math work out on that?
It's controversial. For the French bulldozer, it doesn't work like that. The French bulldozer wants to kill all the humans.
Yeah, he said you should be murdered with a brick, you piece of shit bigot. Okay, well, if that's the world you want to live in, because you don't get to take that back.
So dogs do want to kill humans.
You don't get to take that back. If you say, okay, this guy here is bad, and we don't like him, and we want to get rid of him, and for whatever reason, I don't like his politics, he wears a swastika, he wears a freaking rebel flag on it, whatever it is. If you decide that whatever that person is doing, or is saying, or his opinion, is good enough for you to kill him with a brick, just understand that one day you're going to be playing your music too loud in the front lawn. And somebody's going to be like, you know what, people who play their music too loud at this time on a Sunday should get murdered with a brick. You already set the standard for how to remove things you disagree with. You killed it with a brick. So if you happen to be on the wrong side of that brick one day, you have no defense, no moral defense. You can't call for nobody like, hey, nope, yeah. You remember how you got here, right? The brick thing? Yeah, it came back. It's a boomerang. Fuck it, deal with it. But yeah, they've been wilding. I never looked up any of that shit. The Central Park 5 shit I didn't look at until...
Me neither.
Until decades later. You just believe it. You're like, oh, wow, these guys, nothing happened. They just grabbed all 5 of them and threw them in jail. So terrible. And
did nothing happen? I never looked deep into that either myself.
I'll put it this way.
50-50, right?
I'll put it this way. I don't know absolutely all the details but I've watched how it got broke down. I've watched some information about it. And I'll say at the very least, it's messy enough for you to think this is not even the case that I was aware of. This is completely different. They're like, 5 guys were just in the park and they just grabbed them and took them to jail. They were kids and they threatened them in the police room and all this other shit. They had nothing to do with it.
5 guys in a New York park. If anybody doesn't know what that means, Joey Diaz has a great story about how him and a couple of friends would go to a New York park and beat up gay people for fun.
Well, hey, I don't know. But I know I do. Listen, I do keenly remember in my childhood the first time I heard the word wilding on the news. They were talking about it as like this epidemic that was happening. Teenagers are doing something called wilding. I was like, oh, shit's getting real out here, bro. Shit's getting real. But I know that was happening, but they didn't allude to any of the other shit that was going on. Like, it's a lot. It's a lot. They weren't just walking and some cops just grabbed them. It's a lot. So
it's weird too, because New York, they fumbled the bag a lot with a lot of their cases.
Yeah, I mean, some stuff you don't got to think of. That's the NYPD. When they're like, okay, you caught a guy, right? He was after. What was he doing? He was selling. He was like a vendor on the street. All right, so what happened? I don't know. He was talking back, and my billy club went up his butt. This is not something. There's no nuance here. There's no mistake. It's not like, oh, I thought that was the guy.
The same way.
No, they said he had a red jacket. He actually had an orange jacket. Like, that's not that. Like, there's no logical reason why somebody needs to be penetrated by a billy club. I don't care what he was saying. I don't care if he was struggling in the back seat. Like, I don't want to hear nothing, bro. I don't want to hear nothing. That's crazy.
Yo, that must have been a sweat off the NYPD.
Dude, nah, because they do some wild shit. You know, they shoot people 41 times and all this stuff. But it's New York. It's New York. There's a lot of shit going on in New York right now. People are getting executed in the smoke shop. Like, all kind of wild shit
Yeah,
happening.
smoke shop shit is basically like Cali in 04, man. It's getting crazy up there.
Yeah, it's the fucking shootouts, bro. It's like real cowboy shit going on out there. But, hey, if that's what they into, hey, listen. That's not my business. That's why I don't hang out in those kind of places.
As long as they stay up there with that shit.
Yeah, stay there at the gas stations after 9. No Negroes after 9 in certain gas stations. Some might be a little bit better, you know. But if you're in the hood, definitely not after 9 o'clock. Don't go get gas after 9. You could get poked in broad daylight. I mean, we've already seen that happen. I mean, even though it was a loving poke,
No, corrective stabbing.
That was a corrective stabbing. That wasn't more of a danger. That was like, hey, sir, you shouldn't be here.
If you're here any longer, way worse is coming. Go to the hospital with this stab now.
Because remember, he put his hands on the shoulder first. That's the first move.
That's how I would defend him in court if he was charged with anything other than corrective stabbing. Your Honor, this man is a hero. This is the same way that police would calm the animal before they cut their throat. It's a way to show compassion. Just touch the beast, touch it, let it know, and that comforting. That's why he didn't react. Oh, there's a loving hand on my shoulder. Somebody cares about this. Somebody's looking out. It's gonna hurt me more than it's gonna hurt you.
Right.
But I need you to get out of here, little fella.
Yeah, just get lovingly poked. You know, just to let you know, this could end up worse later if I don't do this. Let me just give you a little bing bing. You'll be all right. Don't worry. It's okay. It's okay. I only use the top third of my blade.
I only got a knife. These guys got guns.
Little did we know, that's a perfect example of unity trolling. We would piss everyone off because we're trivializing what one side of Twitter is talking about. I need you to know about bleep crime. You're denying bleep crime. Bleep crime exists. So it's like, oh yeah, they're making a joke about bleep crime. Clearly there's somebody stabbing, right? So they're upset, right? Or they're happy about that, but then they're upset about, it's like you gave him a noble animus. Like you gave him a righteous purpose. It's so, I think that's, I don't know, man. Shit like that just, it strikes me as the most beautiful genius shit you could do right now in this environment, is to find a way to frame the story so that everybody hates you. Bring the hate. There was corrective stabbing at the gas station.
This is what's happening on buses in Canada.
Jeez. Oh, you said it best.
I never seen that.
Yeah,
it's Canada.
Where did he drop?
It was I think it's a young girl, and it's one of those mortars. Look, it might be a dude. He lit a fucking mortar on the bus. I don't believe nobody punched him in the face in this whole few seconds. Nobody just tackled him or nothing.
He should have been tackled. Should have been punched.
Now, I will say this. Again, I don't take any responsibility for anyone who shares my phenotypical traits. And neither should anyone else. It's not my responsibility. I think this shit's ridiculous. As anyone should. Nobody can look at this and be like, well, you know, post-traumatic slave syndrome makes you like firecrackers. I don't want to hear that shit, bro. I don't want to hear that shit. There's no reason. There's never a reason. But for some, this is Anthony Cumia's page. He be getting busy, bro. He's an angry guy. But he did get punched in the face by a hooker, you said, right?
It was a hooker of color, yes.
Yeah, I figured that when you, I kind of figured that. But yeah, he'd be mad, bro, because it's a lot of, there is a lot of bullets in the clip, so to speak, no pun intended, for this, there's a lot.
You get pulled in. You get pulled in. Because, look, dude, if you go back and listen to his back and forth with Patrice O'Neal.
I did, yeah.
Dude, that's some of the greatest shit that's ever come across radio. I've never heard anything like it marching anywhere near to how you'd hear a real conversation. And there was nothing but love there. You know what I'm saying? There's no there's nobody in the KKK that just has a deep and abiding love for one black dude. Like, look, I want to kill the rest of you, but you're my guy. You know what I mean? So I don't think there's any kind of like real hate, but he's responding to the things that like AIU was speaking out against, like the story, because that's all it is now. That's why it's the Bible. You don't question it. The media is the Bible now. They tell the story gets told. If you don't accept it, you're a heretic. You're a heretic and you're worthy to be hated. Yes, look, he was just picking up sticks. You don't pick up sticks on Saturday. We have to murder him. Everybody in the community, get your stones and murder Steve. He was picking up sticks. He slept in. He thought it was Sunday. It wasn't. We murdered him. We had to. You know what I mean? That's how we're supposed to react to the news. And so he sees this day in and day out, and him being made to feel like he's the villain. And it's not Anthony Cumia just hates black people. Any black person he meets, he's just gonna hate. It's just he's being told his conclusion from what he's seeing in stories that get promoted, stories that get turned away, that there's a mass denial of his set of facts. Nobody's meeting in the middle. So you're just looking for anybody who's like, tell me the shit that I'm seeing is correct. Yep, the shit that you're seeing is correct. Okay. And then people just get caught up in that's all they want to talk about. All you want to talk about is QAnon. All you want to talk about is bleak crime. All you want to talk about, like, people. Once you go down that realm and that rabbit, like, but it's not good. It's not good for your spirit to keep your mind there. It's just not.
Yeah.
But I kind of understand how he's in that position without, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't say Anthony Cumia is any more racist than any 50-year-old black dude that has white friends.
Yeah. I'd agree.
What
Yeah, that's
feels
perfect.
About white people, if you ask them.
Yeah, that's perfect. That makes perfect sense. All you got to do is put a reverse mirror up to him, like same guy but black. Like, yep, same shit, no difference. It'd be very difficult to find somebody who. Yeah, that's perfect analogy, bro. I'm looking at this commercial. Do you think this is fair? Like, is this trolling? He says, finally an ad with white people, and it's a herpes commercial. It's a herpes commercial. It's all white folks in it, except a black doctor at the end.
Is it in English?
Yeah.
The audio.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's odd. I would think like this must be in Sweden or some shit.
No man, whoever.
And look at her. She looks so smug right there too. She's like,
all of you crackers got herpes.
Yeah.
Whoever was in charge of this commercial, this was the troll.
They were trolling, bro.
You think so?
They're trolling. They trolling, bro. They trolling. Listen, I saw a AIDS commercial on YouTube the other day. I was watching YouTube videos. We got caught in the middle and they auto-played something, and there was a commercial for an AIDS medicine. And I just realized how time works and how... So this is a drug that you take twice a month. Your doctor gives you a shot twice a month, and it stops you, it keeps you from dying from AIDS. I mean, it's pretty gangster, right? But the guy in the commercial said it was more convenient than having to take a pill every day. And I was just like, you got AIDS, bro. You got AIDS.
A pill every day.
I gotta take. That shit went in our lifetime. It went from an absolute death sentence to I gotta take a pill every day. That is amazing to me. I couldn't believe, and that was all I could think. I know it was a commercial. The guy probably really doesn't have AIDS, but I think anybody who said that, that's what the doctor should respond with. He's like, you got to do better. This is so inconvenient. I'm taking a pill every day. The doctor should be like, yo, you got AIDS, bro.
That's why you gotta love Charlie Sheen. He had AIDS, and he's like, listen, you can still fuck me
if you want.
You're good. He was going. He meant something totally different with Tiger.
I just think that's some wild shit, dude. And not that. And this is, of course, isn't about anybody who actually has it. And I don't know what their expectations are for not dying because of AIDS. I don't know how they feel about
listen,
it.
Listen, I have a story. Listen. So I know a situation where like they gave the wrong test and like they told the person that they had AIDS, and the person started busting out crying. I'm dead.
That's terrible.
I'm dead. Well, how long ago was that? You don't know about the. You can just take a pill now. You can just take a pill now, bro. It's not a death sentence anymore. And if the pill's it's too inconvenient, we can get you a shot every 2 weeks.
Nah, but. Dude, listen. Everybody's dying. What we call dying is just the 2-minute warning. Like, but
we don't. But we want to die and fuck.
Right. But this is the thing. Like, this is the human condition is that we're dying. I mean, we're dying. You know what I mean? If you're lucky, you get a 2-minute warning.
Right.
Like, yep, we can't operate. Yep, we can't unclog the artery. Like, you get a 2-minute warning. Like, all right, this is it. But as far, hey, you notice we treat people nicer too. It's like, oh damn, dude's dying. I'm not gonna be a dick.
See,
you know what I mean?
It's tragedy, bro. It's tragedy that brings everybody together.
It does, but it's also self-delusion. It's like, no. It's not just him that you're talking to that's dying. Literally everybody is dying. Like, it's a way to frame the world that'll help you treat people nicer.
It should.
Like, just keep in mind this person is dying. Don't be a dick.
Yeah, but he has AIDS.
Like
it's fucking AIDS, bro.
And listen, and taking a pill a day is inconvenient.
Right.
And this other shit is brand new and he can't afford it, so he just said, "Fuck it. We're gonna see how it works out."
Yeah, it could be my own bigotry. That could be a terrible conclusion to come to.
Death bigotry.
Yeah, death bigotry. I don't know, but I know when I saw the commercial, I was like, I was not disgusted, but I was like. I felt like in a doctor's shoes. I would have been like, what, bitch? What do you mean taking a pill every day is too much? You want to die? Do you want to fucking die, bro? Not because of, you got to eat right, you got to change your diet. No. You have AIDS, brother. It's a wrap for you unless you do this. If you don't like the pills, just stop taking them.
That shit does fuck you up because it fucks with your immune system. So, like, if you get sick, it fucks you up in so many multiple ways. I've seen so many people.
I think AIDS must have changed. It must have devolved because that AIDS from back in the 80s and shit like the AIDS.
They could survive it. But
that shit was nuclear. That was nuclear AIDS. That was like the original version they put out.
I remember when they blamed it on the gays, bro. Like that shit was like stamped on them.
Of course, yeah. I still do.
It's your fault.
I still do blame it on the gays. Personally, I mean.
Listen, they're being very speaking of, because you showed that drug commercial, they're very honest about the drug commercials now, because now, like, if you put on an AIDS commercial now, like if you put the PrEP commercial, nope, it's just gay dudes. They're like, yo, do you want to fuck a lot and not get AIDS? Take PrEP.
Yeah.
It's just unapologetic. Like they're not trying to sugarcoat it. Like, here's a middle class white family. Here's a black professor. Here's a
the first one.
Yeah. If you check the PrEP commercial, it's not subtle. They just own it. Like, yeah, we like to fuck. Yeah, we don't like to wear condoms. It's a problem. It's a problem, and yeah, we need to PrEP. It's just full ownership.
It's these people doing these things that's the problem. Hey, listen. Listen. If there's a commercial with a medicine for AIDS, they have the same right to have an attitude like the last gas station for 200 miles. However I advertise this commercial, you're gonna take it. Whatever I say. If I show a clown juggling dirty needles and one of them goes in his arm and it's like, oops, AIDS, you can't be like, hey, you're not taking our disease seriously. I'll be like, man, shut up. I'll stop giving you the medicine. What you gonna do? No, not with AIDS, bro. And then I'm not AIDS shaming. It's not how you got it. I'm not talking about that. When you have a death sentence and you still out here talking shit about commercials or what my frequency of pill taking, it's just inconvenient. Fuck out of here, bro. I don't know why I felt so offended by that AIDS medicine commercial, but I just thought it was funny.
It comes across as ungrateful.
It kind of does, bro.
You're not dying. Taking a pill every day was just too much of a hassle for me.
Yeah.
I didn't think I'd ever be able to do anything about my AIDS. But now I get a shot twice a year, and I don't die.
Now you asking too much, bro. We could have stopped at the pill every day. We could have just all threw our caps in the air and walked out, bro. Like 20 years ago, you'd be dead in 6 months. Now you take a pill every day.
What's the number one thing? We keep getting these AIDS patients, and they're living a lot longer now because they're taking a pill a day, but they keep coming in complaining.
Talking shit.
Fuck these pills. Can you make
never solve cancer because of these guys.
No, fuck that, bro.
We need to save people from AIDS with less doses.
Yeah, you know what?
But less doses. We'll get to cancer later. This is more.
Yeah, we'll put a choke on the supply. We'll see if they keep talking shit. When they go there to get that refill and they're like, "Oh, we out." Like, what? Yeah, exactly. You feel that in the pit of your stomach? Remember that next time you ask for better drugs than taking the pill every day. You take what we give you, motherfucker. That's wrong. I know that's terrible. I could probably get some kind of YouTube violation for that, but that was just parody. It's like in a video game. That's how you do it, right? You say in a video game. I'm just talking about people in a video game, not real people. And of course, I'm not a doctor. I can't give nobody medicine. I can't keep it. It's just my, just saying something. Don't try to kill me with a brick, bro. It's not that serious.
Don't throw the bricks at us, please.
It's not that serious. But yeah, man, our timer ran out, and I think everybody noticed that we had the 1 hour timer. And that's because we shortened the show a little bit. But, we're still going to be here. But we did start a new channel. And I'm going to be sharing that in the community section. I'll probably put it in a link to this video, too. Because we're going to be farming YouTube, the algorithm, so we can buy our time back from the reptilian overlords. And YouTube giving out a lot of money right now. So we're going to be doing some more scripted content, some shorts, some more Fast and Furious slander, all that kind of shit. We know we love that. But, yeah, I'll leave the link, so definitely give us a follow over there, and we'll start feeding the algorithm gods. We got compounds to buy. We got philanthropy to engage in. We got a lot of shit to do, and we need to get YouTube to pay us some money. So, but I definitely appreciate you, brothers. Yeah, gifts, donations. I appreciate you, brothers, making time and talking that good shit, mining absurdity and harvesting the practical mysticism as we always do. Yeah, man, I appreciate y'all. We're going to be getting together again soon with some more simulation diving type shit. Thanks everybody who tuned in, left some comments. We appreciate y'all. Shout out to Devin.
Much appreciated. Thank you, chat.
Yeah, always shout out to Devin and AIU. He sent us some loyal people who stick around. They love the show. We appreciate y'all. And yeah, I think we should dive a little bit deeper into what got him in some of this trouble and just the consistency of it. Because there's a couple stories that I knew about personally, but never took the time to actually look at the details of. Bro, the one with the young kid who got executed, George Stinney.
I never knew there was a rape and a murder prior.
Never. But then when I looked into it, I was like, oh, okay, let me look a little bit more. Bro, I looked at a YouTube video and I was kind of skimming through this documentary style thing about it. And one of the spots I stopped at was a old black dude. And he was like telling the story of how the kid had a switchblade and all that. And of course, you could hire somebody, you could pay him, but just the way he was telling the story about how this kid was with his knife, and he looked like he was kind of still scared of him. I just believed it. And it was coming from a black dude too, like that shouldn't matter. But the fact that there's other people around in the town and all that kind of just accept that that's the truth of what happened, but somebody was able to take it, spin a wider narrative and feed that to people who weren't even there. But people who were there is like, yeah, that was a mean little motherfucker. They wasn't like, oh, it's just some innocent kid got executed.
It's religion. Yeah. He's got to be a saint. He's got to be a saint, or it doesn't carry the same weight of a religious story.
Crazy, unbelievable. But yeah, so I think we'll deep dive into that a little bit more because it definitely deserves some brown voices to talk about it. Because for some reason when the white voice talks about it, all the logic goes out the window and all we talk about is bricks and doxing people's families. Like, people get crazy. So I want to see what it's like if some brown people talk about it. So we definitely gonna get into some of that. So, but again, man, we appreciate y'all, appreciate the fellas, and I'm sure we'll be talking again soon. Y'all brothers, enjoy the rest of the evening.
Peace.
Always a pleasure, gentlemen.
Peace.
Metaphysics is going to have to be the quote-unquote religion of tomorrow. If it isn't, you're fucked. Totally and absolutely.